"Daddy," she said, her eyes alight with excitement, "I see Mommy at school every day." John froze, his heart pounding at the mention of his late wife. "Who, sweetheart?" he asked, his voice unsteady. Emily's face lit up. "I mean, I see her, Daddy. She's always there watching over me in the schoolyard during recess. Sometimes she even waves at me." John was momentarily speechless, but he then took a deep breath and hugged Emily. "You know that's not possible, sweetie. Mommy isn't here anymore. Remember," he said gently, not wanting to upset her. However, Emily was undeterred. "You don't have to believe me, Daddy, but I know it's her," she insisted. He felt the tears well up in his eyes, but he just told his daughter, "Okay, darling, if you say so, but before we start, smash the like button and make sure to subscribe if you haven't. And hit that notification bell so that you won't miss any new stories." Since Sarah passed away in a tragic car accident, it had been just the two of them. John was still heartbroken and thought about her constantly. Despite his grief, he knew he needed to move on somehow. It was best for both him and Emily to find a way to continue with their lives. This didn't mean forgetting Sarah, but they had to live their lives even without her presence. So, after a period of mourning, John returned to work and Emily went back to school. Initially, John believed he had made the right decision. Emily seemed to be enjoying school, and their psychologist had also suggested that school would be a beneficial distraction for her. Everything appeared to be going well, but then, on that fateful morning, Emily told her dad she'd been seeing Mommy at school. After dropping Emily off at school, John immediately arranged a meeting with their psychologist, Dr. Harper, who was fortunately available for a phone appointment later that day. Both John and Emily had been seeing Dr. Harper since Sarah's death. She had been instrumental in helping them navigate their grief, providing the support they needed to start rebuilding their lives. During their phone call, John relayed to Dr. Harper what Emily had said that morning. Dr. Harper explained that it was perfectly normal for children to say such things after losing someone close to them. John felt an immense wave of relief wash over, and there was no need to be worried after all. So, when he picked Emily up from school that afternoon, he simply smiled when she told him that she had seen Mom again. John was glad he had spoken to Dr. Harper about this and felt reassured. However, his sense of calm was soon to be challenged. Over the next few days, Emily continued to tell her father about seeing Mommy at school. John still didn't think much of it, assuming Emily was just using her imagination. But one day, his certainty began to waver. Emily told him, "Mommy gave me a cookie today. It was delicious." John raised an eyebrow at this unexpected detail. Later that evening, John noticed a smudge on Emily's shirt. It was a brown stain. Emily saw him looking at it and giggled, saying, "Oops, that happened when I ate Mommy's cookie today." John turned pale, feeling a wave of panic as he processed her words. John decided that the next morning, he would go into the school with her and talk to her teacher. He needed to find out if Emily was telling the truth or just making things up. How else would that stain have gotten on her shirt? "Miss Laura, do you have a moment, please?" John asked Emily's teacher as he dropped her off at school the next day. She joined him just outside the classroom as the other pupils were arriving. John began, "Emily has been saying some strange things at home. She's probably just making it up, but I wanted to be sure, you know, .o." "What kind of things?" Miss Laura asked with a raised eyebrow. "I'm not sure how to say this, but well, she says that she's been seeing Sarah at school for a couple of days now." "Could we talk in my office?" she asked, clearing her throat politely, her expression betraying a hint of concern. In her concern, Miss Laura revealed to John that a woman who bore an uncanny resemblance to Sarah had been seen near the school multiple times. "We initially thought she was a new parent." A chill ran down John's spine. The thought of someone looking so much like his late wife being close to Emily, yet unknown to him, was both bewildering and alarming. John's mind raced as he questioned, "Has anyone else seen her? Do you know who she is?" Miss Laura nodded, indicating that other teachers and several parents had also noticed the woman. Each shared observation made John's heart pound, amplifying his disbelief and curiosity. As John left Miss Laura's office, the image of Sarah, or someone remarkably like her, haunted him. At home, he pored over photos of Sarah, each smile and glance a painful reminder of his loss and the mysterious situation he faced. The resemblance described was uncanny, troubling him deep into the night. The next day, John returned to discuss the matter further with Miss Laura. Together, they considered the implications of this woman's appearances. Miss Laura told John the school would be alert. "We'll watch out," she said. "If she returns, we'll ask her why she was here." John felt a bit better knowing the school was careful in watching out for them. But he still wondered, who was this mysterious woman? And what did she want with him and Emily? John began his investigation earnestly, turning the house upside down, searching through old photo albums and Sarah's personal belongings for any clue that might explain the mysterious woman's identity. Next, John contacted Sarah's family. He made calls and sent messages, asking if they knew anything or anyone that could explain the woman's strong resemblance to Sarah. Most were puzzled, offering condolences and shared confusion, but no real information. Their genuine ignorance deepened the mystery, leaving John feeling more isolated in his quest. Yet, with each passing day, John found himself entangled in a rising tide of doubts and fears. What if the woman harbored sinister intentions? What if he couldn't shield Emily from harm? These questions haunted him. The school turned into a hub of heightened vigilance. Teachers, staff, and even fellow parents remained watchful, anticipating the mysterious woman's return. John made daily visits, his gaze sweeping over the faces, hoping to find the one that could unravel his turmoil. The tension was tangible, a shared anticipation as everyone waited for the moment of revelation. In the midst of a bustling recess, Miss Laura's gaze caught sight of a familiar figure conversing with Emily from afar. As she drew nearer, the resemblance to Sarah became apparent. Miss Laura hurried, her steps quickening as she followed the elusive figure, but it was like chasing a shadow. The woman vanished as swiftly as she had appeared, leaving a trail of whispering students and a flustered teacher. Emily stood alone, her face twisted in confusion and tears. She couldn't grasp why the woman she thought was her mother had fled. Miss Laura swiftly grabbed her phone and called John. Her tone urgent, she recounted the unsettling encounter and Emily's distress. John's heart pounded with panic and disbelief. Abandoning everything, he rushed to the school, his mind flooded with a flurry of scenarios. John found Emily in Miss Laura's embrace, tears still streaming down her face. He knelt beside her, pulling her into a comforting hug, his heart heavy with her sorrow. "It's okay, Emily," he murmured, his voice quivering with uncertainty. That night, John lay restless, the house enveloped in silence save for the rhythmic ticking of the clock and Emily's breathing. His mind is a battleground, each moment of the day replaying like fragments of an unsolvable puzzle. By morning, John's determination had crystallized. He resolved to become more involved at the school, to be vigilant, to observe and anticipate. He arranged for time off from work, citing a family emergency. He committed to being present during drop-off, recess, and pickup, keeping watch for the woman who had disrupted their lives, prepared to take action upon her next appearance. John's days transformed into a sequence of watchful vigils, every instant at the school devoted to scouring faces and corners for the elusive woman. With each passing day, John's heightened vigilance didn't escape notice. Parents exchanged whispers and staff exchanged worried glances. However, as days turned into weeks, the elusive woman remained nowhere to be found. Despite John's constant vigilance, she remained a phantom. One afternoon, during his customary patrol around the school, John crossed paths with the janitor, an elderly man of observant nature and reserved manner. Engaging in conversation, the janitor disclosed sightings of the mysterious woman on multiple occasions. Even more intriguing, he shared the discovery of a locket in the vicinity of her frequent haunt. It presented an unforeseen and potentially crucial lead. Accepting the locket from the janitor, John observed its weathered surface, yet the image within remained unmistakable Sarah, her smile immortalized. The janitor's depiction of the woman, her demeanor, recurring appearances aligned eerily with John's recollections, sparking a whirlwind of contemplation. This tangible relic from the past intensified the enigma, compelling John to unravel the link between the locket, the woman, and his departed wife. Examining the locket, John pondered the potential link between Sarah and the enigmatic woman. Fueled by newfound resolve, John shifted the trajectory. He enlisted the aid of private investigators, combed through social media platforms, and scrutinized public records. Amidst the ongoing quest for Sarah's twin sister, John confronted a jolting realization: Emily's sightings might have been of her aunt, not her mother. As John's investigation intensified, a neighbor near the school approached him with information. She had observed the woman who looked like Sarah and had quietly monitored the situation. Armed with the fresh lead, John pursued the mysterious woman. A tumult of emotions surged through him, dread and anticipation entwined as he set a meeting with her. Awaiting her arrival, his mind swirled with a kaleidoscope of feelings: fear, curiosity, and a thirst for clarity. When she materialized before him, the resemblance to Sarah was striking, rendering John speechless. The woman, Sarah's twin, uttered words tinged with melancholy and repentance. She recounted the tale of their estrangement, the years apart, and the anguish upon discovering Sarah's passing. Her recent reappearance signified a bid for reconciliation, a quest for closure, and a desire to encounter the niece she had never met. With trepidation, John introduced between Emily and the woman. In that instant of eye contact, an intangible, ineffable bond ignited. Emily's initial perplexity dissolved into intrigue and a nascent feeling of kinship. Through conversation, a tentative yet genuine connection burgeoned, a bond fragile yet palpable. The woman's presence stirred a melange of emotions, within Emily a fusion of the unknown and the inexplicably recognizable. In the ensuing days, John, Emily, and Sarah's twin congregated at Sarah's grave sites. Side by side, they shared memories, tears, and a subdued optimism for what lay ahead. It marked a start, an initial stride toward reconciliation and comprehension. Entrusting the locket to Sarah's resting place, a symbol of a unified family, they departed hand in hand, poised to confront the forthcoming chapter together. Their connections fortified by the past, they embraced the future with hope.